Hey, welcome to the 800-Pound Gorilla Expert Podcast, where we interview experts at helping you grow your business or your practice. I'm your host, Carl Utter, and now today's show.
All right, today's guest is Francis Waller. Francis tells me he's always had a fascination with research and surveys. He says the trick is giving clients reliable marketing information and tools which bring dependable results and yet have a very personal feel to it. So his version of client satisfaction surveys is different than the norm. He doesn't just do that. His clients get honest testimonials, insights into their top clients' buying processes, and little stories that they can use when networking. Today's guest is Francis Waller, the founder of Gap Management. Welcome, Francis. I'm here with Francis Waller from Gap Management. How you doing, Francis?
I'm really well. Thank you very much, Carl. Much appreciated. Beautiful sunny summer day.
That's right, and you're out in sunny California from what I understand.
Actually, Vancouver, British Columbia.
Ah, very nice. West Coast though, right?
A little further north, but yes.
There you go. There you go. You're the founder of Gap Management. Who's an ideal client for Gap Management?
My clients typically are professionals. They're people who are highly skilled, highly educated at what they're doing.
Okay.
They've been in their profession for a number of years. They're, for some reason or other, they're not satisfied with the mix of clients they have, or they simply don't have enough clients. So they're professionals, but they need to, so often.
Let me ask you, what are the types of clients you help your ideal client solve? What types of problems do they have that you help them solve?
Often are so inside that their profession that they're not thinking about how other people see them. And before they are engaged by anybody, that person typically is shopping around. Very often they're looking on a website, but they're also much more so asking their associates, their friends, their family, people they know in organizations, look, I have this particular legal problem, or I have this accounting problem. Do you know somebody who's good at that?
Good, good. So what's the problem they have? They're not getting in front of that person in a timely manner?
Two key problems. One is they need more contacts.
Okay.
And I didn't say clients, I said contacts.
Okay, right.
Because typically you're getting referral or somebody simply saying you should call Jim Smith.
Okay.
But they need more contacts of a wide variety.
Okay.
And they need those contacts to understand their skills better.
Okay. So it's twofold. You help them get more the problem is they don't have enough contacts and they're not really communicating what they do really well to the contacts they have. Okay, good. So what are some common mistakes that you see people when they try to solve this on their own without the help of an expert, say?
Typically, the number one issue is, my background is I came from the advertising industry.
Mm-hmm.
And when I sold for a business newspaper, that was the perfect solution for everybody. When I worked for a web development company, that was a perfect solution for everybody. Well, that's not true, because it takes multiple tools over time. And this is my best analogy. When we grasp, whether it's a hammer or a pen, we're not doing it with one finger, we're doing it with our whole hand. And you need to have a number of tools, be good at a number of things. And if you're not good at it, who can provide that for you? Who can you delegate that to? For example, accountants aren't the best writers in the world. Lawyers, or in the US, you have the attorneys, they're writers, but they're not that kind of writing.
Right.
Okay, so typically that is going to be a skill that they're going to delegate. And some tools, such as contact management or marketing automation, that can be automated. Now it sounds complex, but it's not. What
happens when they try to solve all that themselves?
They discover their weaknesses.
Okay.
And the marketplace doesn't discover them.
Ah, okay, good. So what is one thing, like a free action they could take to try and better connect to their audience, in a more thoughtful and a more enticing and way, if you would.
Typically, what I find is just being in front of people, connecting with people. And so the first thing is to look at your contact list. Some of that's in your mind. Some of that's going to be on your smartphone. Some of it's on your computer. Some of it is past and current clients. Some of it is people that you see at your children's soccer practice. Some might be from a church you belong to. Some might be from a service organization, chambers of commerce, things like that. So go through the contact list and see where you're weak. Who don't I have? Because diversity in your list is more important than just having a big list.
So when I go through this list, or when our audience goes through this list, Francis, what should they be looking for?
They should be looking for diversity. Do I have young people? Do I have old people? Do I have high net value people? Do I have moderate net value people? Do I have urban people? Do I have rural people? Do I have people of different ethnic groups or religious groups or different types of organizations that they belong to? So just thinking about that, I did that for myself, and I found that I had a big cluster of contacts. I've got hundreds and hundreds of contacts, but I had a big cluster in one group, and then I was naked over here. And I thought, okay, how do I get, and this is my suggestion is, once you find your weakness in your types of contacts, what's an organization that's going to have some of those missing group? It's not going to be a majority.
Great suggestion. Great suggestion. So what is one free resource, maybe something on your website, Francis, or one free resource that we could direct our audience to, that they could download, perhaps read this and try to start to improve their network and build their network and diversify it?
I have a test your list document. And what I can do is I can combine that with also a document on how to find different groups.
Okay.
They're going to find it on my website.
Go ahead and give us the link to that, if you would.
I'm going to put it on. My website is gapmanagement.org.
So that's GAP, G-A-P.
Yep, gapmanagement.org/Carl.
/Carl, okay. Oh, now we're in trouble. Now I got pressure to send people there.
Okay.
So you did great. So one last question for us, Francis, and I'll make sure I include that in our links when we push this out. So what's the one question I should have asked you today and I didn't?
I sold advertising for quite a number of years, and I created a lot of advertising. And in doing so, you can't create advertising that's effective if you don't interview people. So I've interviewed well over 1,000 business owners, professionals, people like that. And I saw the errors they were making. So when I saw the writing on the wall and I decided to create my own business, I thought long and hard, what skill do I have? What insight do I have? And so I thought about that. What are the skills that people need in order to become successful, in order to build their client list? And so this is why I put that together, because it was based on all that research that I had done prior.
Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Francis Weller from Gap Management. Francis, you've been a great guest today. Really good stuff. Thank you. I thought your answers were really, really concise, thoughtful, insightful, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to get a lot of really good value out of this. So that website again for Francis is www.GAP Gap Management. That's Gap Management. And to get the free resource, just /CARL, Carl. That's me. All right, everybody.